Hello, thanks again for watching. Just wanted to do a video about perspectives and how perspectives on the world and the people around you has really changed with technology. So I'm gonna use some examples mainly from when I started traveling. My first sort of big trips would have been during university in 2005 and 2007, I believe. So I went on international field school and international co-ops. The co-op was to China and the international field school was in Fiji. Those were sort of my first big trips away by myself, although it was sort of with groups. And then I went on a few other trips, starting in Peru. I went in 2008 to 2009. I went through Peru, Bolivia, Chile, and Argentina. Basically, those four sort of countries for the most part, and it was about 3 months. And with that trip and all my earliest trips, although I did sort of have Facebook, I didn't really post very much, mainly because for a lot of the time I didn't really have a digital camera, or if I did, it'd be like a crappy one that would break right away and I couldn't always upload. So this was like back in the day, sort of before everyone had smartphones. And it's just really interesting the way it's changed people's lives and even just the way that I travel. I know when I started posting photos of my travels, sort of more recently in the last few years, people have been like, "Oh my God, you keep posting more stuff," and it's like, it's cool to like share all my like experiences with people, but it's also interesting because you kind of feel this pressure to constantly let everyone know exactly what you're doing. And it's just pretty funny because it just came up recently now when I was trying to upload this one breakfast mukbang video that was super long, and it was taking forever. So I left my phone at home and I went on and had this great day. I went to Jericho Beach, sat on the beach, read my book, went on a great big bicycle ride to all these places. And then it was just kind of like I got to the end of the day and was like, oh, I don't have any photos to post. It was like I didn't even do any of these things because I went by myself and nobody knows about it. So it was just like this funny, like, perspective thing that I think, um, like, people get addicted to. And I always make friends with my jokes. Like, if I haven't posted it on Instagram, it basically hasn't even happened. But it's so true. Um, I think that's just the way that people operate these days. Like, if you haven't posted on social media but what you're up to, it's almost like, oh, well, you must be doing nothing. But it's just like some people don't use social media. So I thought that was kind of interesting. Also, just the fact that Wi-Fi is just so widely available now. In the next month, I'm not going to have Wi-Fi at home. I'm hopefully going to have some at my work, and maybe I can post things from there and check my emails and all those things. I'm going to really have to figure out a way around that, so that'll be interesting. Another thing, yeah, in my early trips, because I had no digital camera and no smartphone for most of those, um, I ended up buying those disposable film cameras. One because when I went to um, Machu Picchu, I wanted some pictures from there, in Peru, and then also when I was in China. At the very end of my trip, I did a little tour around part of the Great Wall of China, and I figured that was something I needed to document. So I got like actual film pictures of those things. But the rest of my trip, like, I couldn't even tell you like what the people necessarily that I met. Like, I didn't like. I don't know. It's just like it's just interesting how things have changed a lot, especially because I've been hosteling for a lot of the time, and it would be like people would gather together and they'd be asking like, where have you been? Can you recommend a place? And you really start more sort of like functional conversations about places that you've traveled and recommendations and stuff like that. But now people are just like, oh, TripAdvisor, or whatever. Like, I don't need to talk to these people around, even though they probably have slightly more accurate information. That this one has like 100 different reviews, so must be more reliable or whatever. So it was just interesting from a travel point of view, especially, and just yeah, like I remember with Facebook when I did have sort of digital photo devices or whatever. I didn't necessarily have internet all the time, and they still had like internet cafes everywhere. So even if I did have some photos, it would take me like months to upload them, and I would upload like 40 at the same time of like a bunch of different places, and everyone would be like, "What is this?" It's like I can't look through all this. What is that? And I was just like, "Well, I don't know. Like, I don't know where else to store them. I don't know." Um, yeah, cloud spaces were just starting, so I didn't really know what to do with these digital photos, and so I just like uploaded them all at once on Facebook. It's really fun. What else? Oh yeah, and then when I first went to Lima, it was actually the first time when I realized how useful smartphones can be. Because I saw this guy in the hostel who had one, and not many people had them at the time. It was like the first iPhone. And I was saying something like, "Oh yeah, I'm waiting to use the computer to check my email." And he's like, "I'm checking my email right now." And I was like, "What? What else can this magical device do? Oh, it can do all these things." And like told me like some of the things that the original iPhone was capable of, and it was just like, "Oh my god, I should get one of those." Like I thought they were just super annoying and expensive and useless, but well, that would actually be really good because it's like a tiny little laptop. But now everyone has them and it's just standard, so I don't know, it's weird. Yeah, that's my video about that one. So, hope you enjoyed and have a good night.